introverted man here. Boy, it didn't like his name. Oh, wow. Okay, let's make sure that he reads where the hangout is. So this is for pre-modern times. My word, it did not like the didn't like the way that he put in his name. I'm gonna fix that. And if anyone besides him is watching at this moment, I'm just setting up the Feely so that it's all set up and save those changes. So this is gonna be if he joins me, and I don't know if he can or will. I doubt that he will, but perhaps he can't because he doesn't have the technology to do it, which would be kind of sad. But this is talking about the Move It St. Thomas's Unmoved Mover analysis I did a while back. Everybody that isn't a skeptic is essentially saying that I've attacked a straw man. Well, not everybody, a number of them. And I keep telling them I analyze the argument as the argument's written. And well, you didn't understand what he meant, what St. Thomas meant. Okay, well, what did he mean then? Just tell me what he means. Nobody wants to do that. A couple people said, look, go to this website or, over here or whatever. And it's like, well, come up with a consensus on what he meant to say, because what will happen is what's happened many times with this sort of thing before is I'll go to analyze what he, quote, meant to say, end quote, and deconstruct that, and somebody will come along and move the goalposts and say, oh, no, that website was wrong. He meant to say of, not and so you refuted a straw man. So here's my idea, because this is within informal logic and formalized logic. The argument must stand or fail on its own. So how about we just analyze an argument as it's written and not have to go to look at what their writings are and read all, 20 different books or whatever it is. Maybe it's only one, but still, to understand what they meant to say, especially if there's no clear consensus on what they meant to say. And if they're dead, then they can't clarify it for it. But all St. Thomas's arguments are dead in the water due to science, as far as I can tell. But theists don't depend upon science; they pretty much depend upon philosophy to argue their points, because, well, God is supernatural, which I've already made the video that says, well, you can't have proof of God if God's supernatural. So go ahead and see what's going on here. See if any. Let's see. See if this is okay. I've got 2 viewers. One of them might be him. I don't know. Trying to go to the hangout. There we go. There's the chat room. Forgot about that. There we go. Put that in there. Right. Okay. So let's see. Maybe even I could edit the video and put it in the description, so that there's no way that he could not get in here. So pre-modern times, if you're out there and you're listening, the links in the live chat, the links on the video, I linked you in the comments of that Unmoved Mover video. So if you can't get in here, well, that kind of sucks. And I guess I'll just blow this chat room up if he is unable to join it. So that's a thing. So if you're watching, you're like, what's this about? That's what this is about. I've got 2 people watching. Don't know who that is because they're not in the live chat. So that's the thing. Make sure that, this is the right. Yeah, that's the right link. So I'll just go ahead and repeat this, even though I said it, just in case anybody just now joined in and has no idea what I'm talking about. So the move it St. Thomas's unmoved mover argument is one I analyzed as part of a larger video. I didn't feel like analyzing the whole video. I don't even remember whose video that was now. Oh, Mathema. Okay, so yeah. So he presents Thomas's argument. It's evident to experience that some things are emotion. Nothing can be reduced from potentiality to actuality, etc. And even though I dismantled what's written, that's not good enough for theists. Some theists, they want me to look at what he really meant by that argument. So we have to read his mind, I guess, somehow. But no, well, you have to understand his writings. See, okay, well, is there a clear consensus on what the universal understanding of his writings are? Because what will happen is if I analyze his supposed what he meant to say, is somebody will come along and say, no, that's really not really what he meant to say, and you're still arguing against a straw man. So I've been telling the theists over and over again in the comments, I analyzed it as it's written. That's what I analyzed. That's what I took apart. If you want me to look at a different argument, and if you want to claim that he meant this or that, then write that argument out and I'll analyze that. But for whatever reason, they don't want to do that. They just want to say, oh, no, you argued against a straw man. I argued against the argument as written. So I don't know how that's a straw man. But go figure. Hey, Prophet of Zod. Yeah. Hey, Zod, how's it going? Do you want to go in here? Or if you can, I don't know if you can or not. I thought you were on holidays. They use science, a methodological study of the banana, decisively proved God. Well, the coconut disproved God, so I'm afraid you're wrong on that. Yeah, that was a totally different, really bad argument to and from analogy. St. Thomas's arguments. At least he tried. For the time that he lived in, a lot of the science that we kind of take for granted now wasn't really well established then. I mean, I think some of it was being established and being talked about, but you got a theologian who, I don't know, he probably lives in some church or something. I don't know. He does whatever pre-saints do, because you don't become a saint until somebody prays to you and then your prayer is answered. Or something like that. I'm not really sure. The church has its weird little requirements for becoming a saint. So, back in the day, he was just Thomas Aquinas. You can't become a saint until you die, and then you're voted in by the church because somebody prayed for something in your name or whatever. I don't know. So, darn it, Zod's at work. Coconut shows God works in mysterious ways. So, yeah, sure. But, for the time, his arguments were pretty decent, working on what he had, what he knew. But I don't think he knew, whatever science was, out in his day. But who can say? Maybe he did. I don't know. But now, with what we know about science, his arguments are just nothing. They all just fizzled and died. But the apologists, well, that doesn't matter to them. They, it doesn't matter what science says, because this is philosophy, and philosophy is different than science. So, we can't use the same things. And here we go. Coconut just, hey, pre-modern times, can you actually join in? I have hangout after me. Aquinas' argument wasn't a scientific one. I know that. So he's at work, so he can't get in here then. So let's find out what time he gets off of work and see if he'll join me then. And I'll just blow this hang up, and this won't exist anymore, because the whole point is to try to talk to him. Pre-modern times, YouTube did not like the way that you wrote your name. I couldn't name the hangout after you. I had to like rename it into actual letters. So if you would be as kind, if you want to join in a live hangout later today, you could tell me what time you could do that in chat. That'd be great. And I'll just, this thing will just not exist. Let me go ahead and type that in the side chat just in case you didn't hear any of that for some weird reason. Oh, okay. He did hear of all of it, and he said he'll let me know. So that's great. I'll go ahead and give him my email. I'm in. And let me know if you can do this today or not, and a time, etc. If you can't do it today, that's great. That's fine. I don't care. It can be whenever. I'm not in a rush. So I don't know if he can hear me. I'm guessing he can because he responded in text. So I'm gonna pretend like he can hear me. But yeah, St. Thomas's this argument for motion, isn't about motion, and isn't about things moving and having an unmoved mover, even though it says all of those words. Apparently, that's not what the argument's about. Don't know how that works, but okay. I do want the what was it? What did he call it? The other argument that he kept referring to. MOA. What's the MOA? I want that. I want to know what that argument is. I haven't heard of that. Maybe I have heard of it, and it just doesn't ring a bell. I'd love to see that one. What's the MOA? Post it. Question marks. I don't know. Movement of something starting with an A. Aardvarks. I could swear on here, but I'm not going to today. This is going to blow up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. 3 viewers. 3 people that are like, what are you talking about, Deconverted Band? Probably. I mean, But, so conventional understanding of an argument is that an argument should stand or fail on its own. So the premises that you have should, ideally speaking, be presented in such a way that somebody reading it later on will know or be able to intuit what those words are. So you need very good, precise language. So if all men are mortal, okay, so what do we mean by men? People should probably know that. Mortal, people probably know that. Okay, then if Joe Schmo is a man, okay, so we assume that Joe, if A then B, okay, then he's mortal. Okay, hey, it works, and we don't need to go into somebody's writings to find out what they really meant to say when they said the word man and mortal. Well, by man, I actually meant jelly drops, and by mortal, I actually meant Zeus, the God Slayer, whatever, and it's you gotta have your argument stand on its own. The syllogism should just be like beautiful on its own without any further investigation needed. Anyways, yeah, Zod, where's my rap? It's like the second video you've done. You're like going on vacation, and you're not gonna do your rap until you're back off vacation, Zod. Don't think I forgot. Better have my present of you rapping later of You want me to read your own rant? I'll do it. It won't sound good. My brother's about to come in the door and screw up this hangout. It's okay. This hangout's going to die anyways. Praise the Lord, for goodness sake. We're going to take a Bible break. I said, praise the Lord, for goodness sake. We're all going to take a Bible break. My brother's honking at me right now. He wants me to go out there. Oh, well. Ah, fuck it. This is why I can't have good things. I blame Matt Slick. That's who I blame. Here he comes. I watch as I stare at him and be like, "Yeah, I can't go outside. I'm on a thing. I'm on a hangout."
Oh, I thought you were recording.
Yeah, well, recording, hangout, whatever.
No, but if you were recording.
Oh yeah, then you honk at me. So yeah,
because you could hear it.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's all right. Yeah, I'll record. Yeah, whatever. It's okay. I'm gonna blow up this hangout later. I like did it to like try to get this guy to come in and talk to me, but he's at work. And then Zod's also in here, but he's at work too. So everybody's at work and nobody can join me. It's really great. So I'm talking to myself. Well, I'm not talking to my. I'm talking at. You know what I mean.
Right.
You tried to do it before you leave. Okay. Cool. I look forward to it, Zod, as always. Look forward to your things. So yeah, hey brother. So my move it St. Thomas's Aquinas. This is like the fourth time I've explained what I'm doing, but I'm explaining it to you and you weren't here, and the hangout's gonna blow up anyway, so it doesn't really matter what I say at this point. Maybe I should leave it up just because I don't care. Like whatever, it's my channel. I do whatever I want. But anyways, the move it St. Thomas's argument of motion, right? It's not actually about that. See, I'm straw manning him by analyzing the argument as it's written. So you have to understand Thomas's writings where he explains what he actually means when he's doing that argument. So without understanding that, you can't really understand the argument, and therefore you can't analyze it, as it's written. Because that would be good. Anyway, so yeah, that's. Oh my god! The ripping! Okay, well, everyone. Well, I don't know words anymore. That's the point. So I got Zod and I got the other guy listening to me still. Don't know why. Guess they find this entertaining. Me just. What else could I talk about? I talked about the St. Thomas's thing. It's no fun to talk about that by myself. So what can I complain about? I guess I can complain about. No, I don't want to complain about that. People don't care. They don't care about that stuff. No, they don't. No, the flat earthers. Oh my goodness.
Complain about.
Okay. No, I talked about. Well, no, I don't want to talk about Grave to the Flame. It's such a lot. Oh man. No, stop. Stop giving me suggestions of things that I don't want to do. He doesn't have any videos. Oh, yes, he does. No, these are just liked videos. He didn't even upload his own videos. It's pre-modern times. Come on, man. Don't have your own stuff? Ah, well, that's not fun. Oh, well, that's okay. No, I'd gotten some pretty weird comments on the video where I, showed that God, you can't prove God if he's supernatural. Just like weird comments. Just, I mean, what can you say about these comments? I'll just read one of them. I'm sure that's a joke. I'll not read that one. How can you recognize evidence without being intelligently created? Even when you deny God, you prove him. There is no such thing as evidence, truth, ... if we weren't created. If we weren't created, we wouldn't see the same things.
What? Excuse me?
Yeah, and he says, he spells it U, the letter U, which is, okay, that's
nitpicky.
That's okay. So, well, I guess you could say you were intelligently created by your parents. They're intelligent and they created you. So there goes that argument, I suppose. But I guess he means here's the thing with being intelligently created. Like how at what point would you say that the intelligence that obviously is supposed to be God here is intervening in the very naturalistic process of being a child, being born? Like, is it the moment of inception, or is it when you start to multiply the cells? When does this when is it required for God to step in that process there, since it all works on its own pretty darn well, or at least it seems to? So God's intervention has to be completely and utterly invisible. But then, see, there's a difference of intelligent. Well, hey, you can't say that. You're that's my line. Well, no, I mean, if you can say whatever you want. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for you to say it. So invisible that it might as well be natural. So the other thing is intelligence. Like, okay, well, yeah, it would take a lot of intelligence to like make a human from scratch, but I would argue that you're not as good as you could be. Like, yeah, sure, you're smart, but like if you were a little bit smarter, you would create humans, better than what they are. You wouldn't put like the breathing tube and the eating tube right next to each other so that you can choke while you're trying to eat, for example. They'd be separate tubes or whatever. You'd make it, maybe you'd make it so people didn't have to eat, like that were solar powered or whatever. Like plants. What do you call it? It starts with photosynthesis. Couldn't think of it. So for me, Tommy James and the Scoundrels are holy. What? I don't know.
Black niggers.
Hey, I've got somebody in here.
Black niggers. Black niggers. Black niggers. Black niggers. Black niggers. Black niggers.
What the bleep?
Black niggers. 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 Black nigger.
Is that all you gotta say?
Shit, it's a pedophile. What the fuck?
Do you have anything actually intelligent to say, or you just want to troll? All right.
Don't
wants to troll.
Nigger, 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 nigger.
Yeah. Look, if anyone's gonna say nigger, it's gonna be me. Damn it. Hey, Paul.
Howdy.
This is what I get for launching an open hangout. Well, this hangout might not blow up after all. Maybe I'll just leave it on YouTube. Who cares at this point?
Who knows? Yeah, did you put in that cameraman thing?
Put in the cameraman thing?
It's the thing that I never ran one of these, but it's what other people will put in there so you can see who's what before they come in.
Oh, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, it's one of the functions. I never searched for it, so I can't help you.
Yeah, that's fine. I can always just throw out random troll people that want to troll. I don't care. This was kind of just to try to get this one guy to come and talk to me, and he's actually at work, so he can't do it. So then I was like, well, let's just leave up the hangout and see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, you never know what might come in. Hello.
Yeah, you might get a Paul. I mean, that's
get a
pretty
Paul.
bad.
Okay, let me adjust my colors here. Ah, that's better.
So, Paul, that troll called you the P word. Did that upset you?
It's funny. When a person is comfortable with themselves, sexually or anything else, they usually don't have a problem. I just wrote that on somebody else's thing, because some people were talking about, women in positions and stuff, and I says, if you're comfortable, strong women, strong men, strong whatever, don't bother.
They're not gonna. It's kind of the phenomenon of that.
Holy shit! Who's the homeless man on the couch?
Yeah. Okay.
Who's the homeless man on the couch?
Don't care. I'll just mute him. That's easier than ejecting him. I'll let him stay, but he can't.
Holy shit! Who's that? Who's that homeless man on the couch? What the fuck, dude?
All right.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, they can unmute themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say,
once
search
you-
that cameraman thing next time.
Yeah, you know. It's the same guy too. Like you would have thought that he would have, you know, gone to 4chan to play there or something. I don't know. Oh well, you know. I guess I could remove like the link from the video,
Yeah,
but then that means,
well,
like, how did he find me? Like,
who knows? But a lot of times, like John and stuff would do, is they would go to your Facebook page and PM you there with the link.
yeah. What was I saying? Oh, right, the phenomenon of where, you have different pastors or whatever that, you know, speak anti-gay this, anti-gay that, and then it comes to find out that they were involved in, you know, all sorts of gay sexual activity themselves. So it's kind of this doused us protest too much sort of thing where,
Yeah, usually the ones that scream the loudest are what they scream about. You know, it happens so often, you know, whatever they complain about somebody being or whatever, and they're really about it, just look at them, and it's them. They are what they complain about.
yeah. Well, but then I complain about logical fallacies, so.
Well, you're a logical fallacy, so get over it. I'm going to shut my curtains. I'm listening. I'm going to shut my curtain.
Yeah.
Don't pick on me. You will not win.
So yeah, you know, talking about arguments, talking about logic, I guess. Lobsters, you know.
Well, I went out today, and finally, after I don't know how many years, got myself a new field jacket.
Okay.
Place was only like 5 miles from here. Gave me 10% off for being a veteran, and then I picked up a veteran's hat. Vietnam veteran.
Jonathan Hills is alive. Jonathan, holy shit, dude. What the fuck?
What the fuck over?
All right.
How many people have you fucking killed, nigger? Nigger.
As many as
Jonathan.
I could. Unfortunately, you are
Wow.
included.
That's
I would remove that off of there.
That's it's getting weird here. Like it's the same guy. Like he doesn't have a life. It's the
He
same
doesn't have a
dude.
wife. Oh, okay.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't. I mean, you know, he's. You know,
I was being
you're gonna
drunk.
troll. At least be original, because like I already made a video where I said nothing but nigger. So that's not gonna do anything to my channel.
Nah, I doubt it.
Gary,
Hey, what's up?
how have you been?
See, looks like anything can get in here. Should I put my Vietnam hat on?
Hey,
One,
well, we got Echo.
one each veteran. Oh,
I've been sick. And not just the voices in my head. I mean, I'm really sick.
well, okay. I was going to say your eyes look a little bit down.
Yeah. So we can talk about the new Star Wars and spoil the hell out of it.
I like it.
I haven't seen it.
Anybody who doesn't like it should get.
Everyone died. It was really sad.
So
Like everyone, everybody, just they all died except for like one person. And that was how it ended. That was great.
all but one person.
Oh wait, that was the no. Everyone died.
That would be the movie of last year. Or
Yeah, that was the other one, right? Sounds like missing the mark. Oh God. Please don't say that I sound like that.
Well, I can give away one little plot, you know, and it doesn't give away anything until you see the movie. And as I brush my shoulder off at you.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
This
go-
one
you can
person
see the
did a whole video on like, here's how to fix it, and like they had 12 changes that they would make. And I was like, yeah, that actually was pretty decent. Their changes, like I was like, yeah, that would have fixed it. But the thing is, I kind of wonder if they're trying to sabotage like the male characters so that the female characters are cool.
No.
It could be. Could be. I don't know.
No, what you call it? He went through an arc, Mr. Hotshot Pilot, and now he's learned that you can't always do what you want to do when you want to do it. Everyone had some character arc. That's why I like it. Even even Luke had a character arc.
And well, I don't know.
See,
It was a movie.
those-
It was okay.
I was 28 when that stuff came out. My son was born a week later, and so I didn't grow up with these characters. They mean nothing to me outside of the movie. I never revered them in any capacity.
Yeah, I mean they can change them however they want, and
Yeah,
that's what they're doing is they change them. So it's like okay, whatever. I don't care. It was fine. I was okay with it, but
I only seen it 3 times and plan to see it again. I love the sword fight at the end.
The person that was
How
like
sad is a commentary that humanity's so desperate for escapism that Star Wars was turned into a religion.
Well, see, there it goes. That's
there is a religion.
Real quick, converted D. That's the problem. People who are so against religious things become very religious when it comes to Star Wars. Very dogmatic. Everything has to be a certain way, or it's no good.
Well, that's you've just described all of fandom.
I'm a fan, but I've gone through life. I've seen things change. My father, who was a very strong person, the last 3 years of his life, he pretty much just gave up on living, and he basically just about starved himself or himself to death. He just didn't want to eat. He didn't want to do anything. And this was somebody who was very strong in character. So to see Luke have a problem and then arc through it and come out on the good side.
Prepare for the raid! Prepare for the raid! Prepare for the raid!
You didn't take that out of there yet?
I don't know what to do. I'm like, unless I restart it. Like, I don't know how to make it invite only or.
Not that. I mean, you can't take the message.
The echo's weird as hell.
Yeah, I can do that.
But it's just funny,
So are they trying to 4chan raid? Don't they know that 4chan is not your personal army?
Come again?
These 4chan these wannabe 4chaners, they were like, "Oh, prepare for the raid." I'm like, "Yeah, 4chan's not your personal army. Lurk more." I was in 4chan when 4chan was not cool, which it never was back in the day.
Back in the day.
I know all that lingo. I know all that craziness.
Oh, that freaking damn trackball keeps falling off the arm.
Anyway, so arguments. That's all I have is arguments. That's all I can do is look at an argument as it's written, not as people want me to look at it. Like, look, you wrote it this way. That's it. That's how I'm going to analyze it. Oh, no, that's not what it means.
In being a programmer, you learn that a computer does exactly what you wrote. Maybe not what you want, but it follows what you wrote.
Yeah, that's actually, since logic is based on, the logic gates are there. So, yeah, if you put in, what you put in is what you get out. So if you have a logical error, then you're not going to get to the end of the dang thing. You're going to get a bug. The program's going to halt. It's not going to work the way you want.
Yeah.
So
I can write.
you can put all the comments that you want, like the little asterisk or the little comma or whatever you use for comments and say that's not, you're not supposed to go to 10 when I tell you to go to 10. You're supposed to do this instead. You can write that as much as you want, but unless you actually program it in, it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's real funny. You watch the CPU usage going, very high, but the inputs and outputs are nil. You're in a loop.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that accidentally with basic, and it's like, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah.
Not doing anything, but it's chugging along.
It's trying to figure out what you want to do.
Oh, it's doing exactly what you told it. Not trying to figure out nothing. Go care less.
I got 10 viewers. My word, the bleep.
I got a question for you.
Spherical. The Earth is spherical.
The obloid spheroid.
Well, if you want to squish it a little bit, go for it.
Well, I mean, it's misshapen. What's the question?
What's your question?
How badly do you think Donald Trump's going to hurt the religious wrong power base?
We're not talking about that. I don't care.
You don't care?
That doesn't matter. Whatever he does is reversible, pretty much. I mean, that's the thing is that.
That's for stupidity.
Yeah, well, like some of his things.
I'm talking about they have to defend him because he's their meat puppet. The more he goes off the deep end, the worse they look defending him.
He's starting to lose people, even who are ate up with the dumbass with him.
Well, it's all about money, and the thing is, we're going to talk about this. I guess we're going to talk about it. Like it or not, he's kind of good with being a tactician, and what I mean is that the news is focusing on his tweets, which are completely irrelevant. If they ignored those and looked at his policies and talked about what he's doing in office, then they'd actually have some ammo to use against him. But they're so concerned with what he said on Twitter that it's like they're not even looking at what he's actually doing. So, yeah, he said stuff that's stupid on Twitter. And what did he do in office today that's actually going to become a policy or could become a policy that will actually affect our lives? Yeah. You're not talking about that, so nobody knows about that unless they want to go look for themselves. And so you have an American public, generally speaking, if they're eating this stuff up and saying, well, he's stupid. No, he's brilliant because he's distracting you from what he's doing. So you don't know what he's doing. He might be stupid. I don't know. He's tweeting things that are distracting people. That's not very stupid. That's kind of wise in a way. He might be a complete idiot, or he might be
he's a work in progress.
A work in progress, or a tactical genius, or who knows.
Oh,
but he's using business tactics to mess with the media, and it works because they won't focus on what he's actually doing. They focus on his tweets, and it's like, who cares? Whatever.
I guess it depends on what
I'm focusing on the fact that he trying to derail the investigation into him. I mean, if you don't want somebody to look at something, you don't draw attention to it.
There's ways and there's ways, because what you put out on the public and you mess around enough, you confuse the heck out of the public. The public can't form a decent opinion. Now, the people that are actually investigating whatever they're investigating, they're not going to be derailed by whatever he says or does. They're going to,
That's the important part.
Yeah. Like the actual police people are, they're going to do their thing and just.
That's the important part.
Yeah. So, I mean,
what the people out there think, and they're in a minority.
Yeah. That, like there was, these accusations about whatever the politician was or whatever the celebrity was, where it's like they did this or that sexual thing or whatever. And it's like, and did they? I don't know. It's an accusation until it's proven in court. That's it. and yet the public opinion is like, oh no, they did it. They actually did it. It's like, you don't know that. You have no idea.
Uh-oh.
I know what you mean. Like, was
Kill
what
that
they did
person.
was Roy Moore.
Kill that person. There you
Yeah.
go. You guys have no female companions. That's what the problem is.
Yeah. How do I? Let's see.
Come to think of it, neither do I at the moment. It's coming up in 6.5 years. Oh well. Is this working? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got this cold. I kept sneezing.
Well, stop
Getting off the
sneezing.
mic.
Don't
cut it out.
It's involuntary, young man.
young. I wish.
If you hold your nose while you try to sneeze, will you just explode?
Yours will pop out.
But yeah, I
I'm
mean,
sure
you know,
something would bust.
basically, you know, whatever Trump actually manages to pass through Congress or whatever, like the tax bill, like a lot of it's like absolute crap. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. It's the typical politics stuff, you know. And that will actually impact us until the next year, until the next election cycle. So whoever we vote in, that's who will blame for everything bad or thank for everything good. It's just how it works. So it's like,
What I'm afraid of is they're going to be so eager to swing the complete polar opposite of Trump. They're going to be like a leftist version of Trump.
well,
Someone so extreme it would be
Leftist.
you know, I have
Taking care of people, that'll be a horrible thing to happen.
you know, like if you go well,
extremism is wrong regardless of
extremism,
it's left
no matter
or
what,
right.
yeah, you know, but it doesn't. I don't know. I don't.
It's not
I
going
don't
to go to the extreme like that.
I'm not really that worried about it. Like I said, it's going to kind of balance out in the end. I think that people make too much about what he says rather than what he does. It's like, look, who cares what he says on Twitter?
Right.
Focus on what policies he's actually passing through, because he can say, "I want this done." That doesn't mean anything.
Anything he writes down on a piece of paper,
somebody can override, right?
Present on a piece of paper.
If we wanted to fix politics, we would have put term limits on the Congress years ago. That's not going to happen. So until that happens, you've got career politicians who worry about, you know, making money, not serving the public. So if you have kind of a weird thing, like if you made politicians earn as much as teachers did, for example, like, you know.
Well, how many senators are up next year? Anybody know?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but I want to try to like learn all that stuff and understand it well enough so that when I go to vote, I'm not just like going A, B, C, D. You know, I actually know.
I can only guess about a third.
Yeah, but you know, it's weird. It's like, you know, you get older, it's like you start caring about politics. I'm like, darn it.
I want to do some. I would love it if we all did some research on who we're voting for, instead of just this mindless. I've been a Democrat my whole life, therefore I'll vote Democrat.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I used to split my ticket when there were Republicans many moons ago. I was in Pennsylvania, and I happened to like the Republican who was an ex-Democrat, and he was pretty much, you know, very liberal Republican. Arlen Specter. I used to vote for him. I liked him. But lately, no, I'm not splitting it. I really don't care right now until this shit gets better. Because now we got too many retards in the Republican Party.
I was looking into how to run for president, but there's a lot of steps involved. So I was like, yeah, I mean, it would be fun to do it, but there's a lot of work involved to do it.
Didn't seem to be that way for Trump. But he's got the age. That's all he needed.
Well, if you got money, you'll win.
He's got no qualifications.
Well, the only qualification technically is that you're born in America. Other than that,
I understand that.
Now, it would be interesting.
I understand that, but you're kind of particular about who your brain surgeon is. Okay.
It would be interesting
Exactly.
if there was like a test or something that you had to pass to qualify to run for
always be
anything.
enacted later. It really could.
Yeah.
But you have to make it an amendment, something that can't be kicked out.
Senate will be held on November 6, 2018. 33 of the 100 seats, and will be done of.
33 of them?
Yeah, that's what the Williams says. I'm trying to bring this back to logic. I don't know how to do that now.
Well,
I know. I mean, I check out people before I vote, but right now, I have no real deep interest.
Yeah.
I'm getting up in age where it's like I got that many years to play this silly game.
If now in a Piers Anthony book, Incarnations of Immortality, they vote in God. So what God would you vote in if you could?
Okay, the top one in the Hindu gods, Brahman. Because if you look up Brahman, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't. He doesn't do anything. Everything manifests from him. He's the top dog. He could care less about the universe. It just emanates from him. His being makes it. But he's got nothing to do with it. He's a deist. He's a deist. God.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's no better than what we have
There's
now.
no temples. There are no temples, or at least if one only, to that God, because praying to him will do nothing.
That's great. It's like, here's a God. What's it for? Nothing.
Nothing. But all the other guys, all the other ones,
maybe like literally the God of nothing. That's what it produces. It produces nothing. Like, oh, we need more nothing. Here you go.
But
I thought we already have that.
No, there's that. Well, not as far as I know. Is there anywhere you can point to that's nothing? I mean, not really.
I'm gonna sing a song, okay? I watch Buddhism Hotline every fucking day. Jonathan Hill.
Anyways.
I'm sorry, man. I'm so sick right now. I should drop out.
It's the same guy. I mean, that's what's funny about it.
I have a short story I want to write about Jehovah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the name of it's already got the title. It's the Latin word for tavern. Okay, and he's going to go to a tavern, and then it's just going to be a little short story.
Gonna have his wife in there? Or?
No, I don't see that right now. Nah. But he's going to go there. He's going to talk to the barkeep and all that stuff, and there's only him there. They're going to have a conversation, and of course Jesus is going to come up. And ever since my son came up with hell, I haven't had to do a damn thing anymore because everybody's scared of it. And when he leaves, when he gets there, it's like raining like hell, big storm. Every time I come here, it's always raining. And then when he leaves, the sun comes out, the birds start singing, and all the other gods come back into the tower.
This is the weirdest hangout that I've ever done. All right, I think I'm gonna close it, and that way I don't have more insanity. But this was the thing we did.
Okay.
I mean,
we should all feel sorry about it too.
Well, it could be worse, Gary. We could sing the atheist side hump.
No, I've been trying to forget that.
Good time.
Twisted puppy.
Did you look up the new movie that's coming out this summer?
No, it's another one.
I know it's another one, but it's one that Mr. Avatar wanted to do for on Cameron. He's wanted to do this for like 15 plus years.
Oh.
and he's just producing it, and some other guys directing.
No, I don't
And
know.
it's about an avatar.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna kill this and wait for that guy to email me. I don't know why there's 6 viewers of this insanity. I have no idea. Like, did we produce content that was interesting? I don't know. All right.
They're looking
I
at
guess
my
I'll-
girl pictures in the back. That's what.
I guess I'll leave this up for a while, maybe, and then I'll explode it later. I don't know. In case somebody wants to save this nonsense. All right. Lobsters exist. That's all I know. Whee!